Hey guys, and welcome to Jurassic Room. Been meaning to make this video for a very long time. Mostly just kind of trying to get around things, trying to post more videos to get my watch time back up. Literally today, I opened my YouTube studio and it's at 3,999 watch hours of 4,000. I'm one away to possibly getting remonetized after about a year. I kind of just gave up. So who knows? Maybe I'll get remonetized. Maybe YouTube will say that my content is still reused content and will not remonetize me, but it doesn't matter because I prefer to use my YouTube channel as a diary anyway. Sorry. Welcome to Jurassic Room if I had not said that before. So yeah, a few weeks ago, before all the reactions and stuff I've been covering, I made a video about the Holy Thursday Massacre and breaking down some of the things the FWC has done over the past few years. And recently, okay, so to touch on that for a second, a lot of good came out of it. We got a new, I think, executive director of law enforcement for the FWC. So he's now in. Apparently he's more of a better guy. They have put a hold on euthanizing any live animals or captive animals, so without extenuating circumstances. So no more bolt guns for the FWC for the time being. No more just dragging calm snakes out of their cages and killing them. However, there is a new issue now with Marco Rubio now trying to propose new Lacey Act amendments, which means that a lot of animals would end up getting banned. Don't know why these things even get just passed in the first place or recommended in the first place, because, I mean, you don't think all these big businesses like PetSmart and Petco and all of them are just going to say, hey, we can't sell hamsters with all of our hamster cages and whatnot. And I'm looking at Nira right now. I kind of want to turn the camera and look at her. I know, I got to clean your tank. She's looking at me because she's like, ooh, feeding time. A big girl, you probably saw her in the last video, the Holy Thursday Massacre video. She's the only animal in my room other than the day gecko. But back to the serious issue at hand. So a few weeks ago, when I was doing research for the Holy Thursday Massacre, I got, and it happens every once in a while, you get recommended these really crappy, like, animal fight videos where people just, these, like, usually foreign channels, toss a bunch of lizards and snakes and arachnids and stuff all in one little enclosure and make them fight. Well, I got a really crazy one recommended to me, and it really ticked me off. And then I ended up digging for a few hours into a very depressing rabbit hole that I really wanted to address in this video. And this is about animal abuse, videos going on through YouTube, defying the copyright system, and all in all, just a complete cruelty. And it kind of I feel it goes under the radar because it's all like lizards and snakes and arachnids, and no one really cares if they fight because it's natural. But a dog fights, or a dog is abused, or a cat is abused, or you make them fight, then everyone gets in a tizzy because that's just wrong. They have souls. But anyway, back to the main thing. I have cats and dogs too. You've seen it before. But I wanted to get onto this. And I'm going to be covering all the videos that I have here and breaking them down. The channels and whatnot that I've discovered. I found 5. I really couldn't find any others, but 5 were the most prevalent and disturbing to me. Specifically, 3 videos in particular, which I will get on in just a second. So, but the first video that came across my timeline was this one, or even recommended for me, this one. So, from Turtle Planet, called, and this was their latest video, called Big Cane Toad versus African Bullfrog. Now, if you hear that title, it should send a shiver down your spine. Because if you think, wait a second, so an African bullfrogs, they get big. You probably see them on Instagram or whatever. These big old bullfrogs, documentaries where they are like scoring off against elephants and whatnot. They'll eat just about anything they can get in their mouths. And then you hear of a cane toad. Yeah, the little invasive toads that take over Australia, and just a few of them can kill a saltwater crocodile just by having them being swallowed. So you're seeing this video of an African bullfrog eating a cane toad. And I don't think they're going to make it spit it back out. I don't think they're going to do that. So more than likely, and even if they spat it back out, that cane toad's going to produce poison. It's toxin. And it's going to be already in the bullfrog. So this bullfrog most likely died after this feeding video. And it was the last feeding video that they posted for a while. So I want to kind of touch upon each of the channels first, and then the individual videos, and then try and touch upon some of the comment sections because they're just so brain dead. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to kind of... So the next video that I have, I'm doing this a day later because I did get one thing wrong. It is, in fact, like two common snapping turtles, you know, Florida and the common. And it's called, you know, Florida snapping turtle versus common snapping turtle. So yeah, this person really wanted him to fight because it's called live feeding, but there's nothing else in the tank. So it's obvious that this prick just wanted these two turtles to fight, and the one is significantly bigger than the common snapping turtle. Now, I did kind of fight for a while saying this was an alligator snapping turtle, but I looked closer and no, it's a common snapping turtle. The like, I forget the tubulars, I forget what they're properly called, the little like spikes on their neck is just really big, and the spikes on the scute of the turtle's shell are much more defined, which is kind of odd in common snapping turtles because usually as they get older their shell rounds out, and like the bigger they get, they have like more like a round shell. So it's kind of odd for one at this size, and it's kind of difficult to say how big they are, but I mean the bigger one is a decent sized one. It's probably as big as some of the biggest female that I've caught. Definitely a very decent sized common snapping turtle. And this guy's most likely, I mean, it says in the video, versus, so I'm assuming that they were trying to get these two to fight, because it does kind of pick on the little one a little bit, and I hope it did work out, and that they didn't actually kill each other. They think they were just more curious than anything, but it's still just sickening that this guy just thought it'd be fun to put these two big turtles. Sometimes snapping turtles can get along, and then sometimes, you know, I'd be worried that they don't, because it just depends on the turtles. And that this guy he just wanted him to fight. Kind of want to touch upon that for just a quick second. I don't think there's any other comments that I had saved that were worthwhile. So we'll start with the first channel. So this channel was called Turtle Planet, and they had maybe 60 or so videos on their channel. But recently, when I went back to look at it, 52 videos, unavailable videos are hidden. They nuked their channel basically. Now they're hidden, they're not deleted, meaning most likely they got reported enough and maybe YouTube stepped in but didn't delete them, which I don't know why they wouldn't just delete the videos or strike or get rid of the channel, because it's obviously animal abuse. But the only video they have available on their channel right now is hybrid snapping turtle eating big fish, which appears to be a big, hard to tell. I haven't watched the video, but from its size, I'd say it kind of looks more like an alligator snapping turtle from the beak looking part, just looking at it. And it's obviously eating looks like a snake head. Snake head. And there's like different playlists, 52 videos unavailable, 51, 52, 52, 21. And this is the description of the channel. It's really, really odd. You can tell it's definitely a foreign channel because of the spelling errors and whatnot. Turtle Planet description: what do African bullfrog eat and grow? Question mark. I want to feed them what they eat in the wild, and I want to see how big it is. I want to share it with you guys. How do I make them fat? From United States, joined July 12th, 2021. The channel has well over 1 million, almost 2 million views, which is really sad because it just shows you how successful these channels are with the content they make. So to go on with the videos, because they nuked all their channel, all their videos, I was able to download some of them, as well as save a few. I think it was 11 videos that I kept from their channel specifically to report on. So getting past all of that, yeah, they have only 2 videos. One's the hybrid snapping turtle, and one's the snake neck turtle, very long neck. And the hybrid snapping turtle video has over 9,028 views. So moving on, I have the little paragraphs here of all of the so one video is the one that caught my attention was the big cane toad versus African bullfrog. Budget frog versus snapping turtle. And I don't think I'll watch the videos again in just a moment to talk about them, but you can tell that's just unbelievably cruel. The snapping turtle's obviously just biting the frog, and Budget's frogs can be a little aggressive. So, and it's soft skin, so it's going to hurt. They're just fighting. This isn't a live feeding. They're just making 2 animals that would never meet in the wild. And even if it wasn't in the wild, if it were in the wild, it would be on account of the animals. That's the animals' business. This is just some prick of a human forcing 2 animals to fight, which I kind of want to quickly make a breakdown just a second once I cover this whole channel. So there's that one, African bullfrog versus crocodile turtle live feeding. And this is obviously an African bullfrog versus a common snapping turtle. And even in the thumbnail, it shows the snapping turtle biting down on the bullfrog, which obviously just hurts. And the snapping turtle's not going to eat the bullfrog. The bullfrog's not going to eat the turtle. In this instance, an African bullfrog could not eat a snapping turtle. It's just going to hurt each other. Then you have baby Florida snapping turtle eats cane toad. So just like the African bullfrog and cane toad, you basically have this snapping turtle ripping this cane toad apart. I have to go back and watch the video in just a moment, but budget frog versus crab live feeding. Now, technically the frog could eat the crab. Doesn't mean it's not going to go through a fight. And these crabs are big. They're just going to hurt each other. Or the crabs are probably going to be fine. The budget frog, I don't think, could bite through the shell of the crab. It's just going to hurt. You're just making the frog get pinched and whatnot. Then you have budget frog wants to eat crocodile turtle. I think it's basically the same. Okay, so instead of the African bullfrog, it's the budget frog now fighting the alligator snapping turtle. And each of these are only like 2 minutes long. So then you have African bullfrog versus scorpion live feeding. So this is also a very young African bullfrog. This isn't like a full adult one. And, maybe it could eat a scorpion, but it's still just going to hurt. They're just going to hurt each other. 15 centipedes eat African bullfrog. Of course they don't, but at the same time, I can't really identify these centipedes, but if I had to guess, I would say they're probably Vietnamese giant centipedes, which are poisonous, which means that this frog was probably going to get hurt. Now, don't quote me on that, because I can't identify the centipedes, but my guess was these were poisonous centipedes, and the frog was probably insanely hurt after this video. Then you have African bullfrog versus crab. Now, these crabs are smaller than the other ones, but still would probably hurt the frog. And then here's the, I believe... yeah, this is the last video that I was able to save for them, and it's just an insanely cruel video. Pac-Man frog versus red iguana, and it's this really healthy looking red iguana being slowly devoured by a very large Pac-Man frog. Just insanely, disgustingly cruel. And that's what I'm going to touch on right now, because I don't really want to go back and watch the videos. Because while I'm talking about them, I'll have some clips rolling. I'll just play it like that. I want to get it over with, because I just don't want to watch them. They're terrible. They're horrible videos. And I'd rather them be removed rather than the channel hiding them, to where they can maybe pass them off to a secondary channel to be launched in the future. And then a bunch of idiots online just click on it thinking it's natural and cool. So let me grab my other book here and talk about the situation at hand. So we've covered Turtle Planet, and this is really the second worst one to me. I think I gotta look at yes, it is the second worst one, because the other channel I'm going to cover at the very end, it's monstrous. It's so inhuman. I could not stomach watching it. But it comes down to this. The reason why they're so popular is because these morons on the internet are like, but it's natural. These animals, they do fight. They do eat like this. They would do this. Okay, well, it's natural for dogs to fight or cats to fight, but we don't instigate dog fights. No reasonable human instigates dog fights or cat fights or so on. Making animals fight is cruel. Yes, a snapping turtle could eat a mouse in the wild. They probably do. But to intentionally just feed a live mouse to a snapping turtle just to videotape it and watch it get ripped apart is just cruel. I have 2 snapping turtles. They are perfectly happy eating earthworms, minnows, and shrimp. They are completely happy with that diet. Gontu himself has doubled in size in the past few months. He's nearly as big as Sykes, and he's like at least a year or so younger. They're nearly both the same size. I love my snapping turtles, but it's just incredibly cruel. Like, really a lot of animals. I don't agree with a lot of live feeding. Some animals, it's completely fine. You know, crickets and stuff, and like feeder fish, fine. And to an extent, I'm okay with like live mice or whatever, because some snakes, like my sister has a piebald ball python named Striker, and he does not like frozen. He will not take frozen right now. I'm still trying to wean him off onto frozen, but he is stubborn. I'll spend 20 minutes trying to get him to eat a frozen mouse. Not even 10 seconds does he take a live mouse. And that's just how it goes sometimes. Nira, almost 10 years old, she is completely fine on frozen mice. So yeah, a lot of people will just say it's natural or whatever. In reality, it's just you like watching cruelty. I don't mind people, you know, of course you need to feed rabbits to like big snakes or big crocodilians. But most people do it frozen because it's less cruel. And just less stress on all the animals involved. Now, I don't really deal with rabbits, so I don't know how easy it is to get like frozen rabbits or so, but I imagine it's easy enough to get them online or whatever. I mean, I don't know. But moving on from that. So yeah, basically it kind of falls into the same category as the fake rescues, the fake turtle rescues, you know, the fake rescue videos where usually foreign channels, foreign channels would like put a kitten in with a python and then like wrap it around and make it look all cruel, and then they come in and save it from the vicious snake. And then, you know, a bunch of grandmas on Facebook are like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for saving that poor little kitten from that devil, that wicked serpent Satan." And then I get enough of that from my pastor at church. He's like, those things are cursed. But yeah, we all know that snakes are just beautiful, or they're great animals. But or they'll put like a puppy in a tire or something and then rescue later. Then we had the whole turtle rescue thing that popped up, and Dan the Turtle Man really led the crusade against that, and bless him for that. Sorry that he lost some of his terrapins recently, sorry. But he led the crusade against that, along with Moist Critical and Asmongold reacting to his videos. And they were doing these mostly foreign channels, you know. And they would take these freshwater turtles. I forget some of them. I know red-eared sliders. There were some other species I don't remember the names of. I think some musk turtles and maybe a painted turtle. I can't quite remember.
You click on the video and, oh, what is this? Bro, that is literally a red ear slider. That is literally a red ear slider verbatim. This is the turtle. Let's get a nice good look at its face, and you can see the big freaking red ears on the freaking head. It's a freshwater species of turtle.
But they would put them in salt water. They'd glue these barnacles to their shells and then rip them off. And, oh, we're rescuing the turtle. You know, pretending like they're doing what they do with sea turtles sometimes to, like, take the barnacles off. And it's just incredibly cruel. The worst one was when a fly river turtle, and they had this poor thing swimming through salt water. And, you know, they had leathery skin like a soft shell. and they're just peeling the skin off and everything. It was terrible.
So then the next turtle that they did, though, they did the next closest thing to a sea turtle. This is a fly river turtle. This is a freshwater species from Papua New Guinea and New Zealand that they glued, and it has a soft shell, not a soft shell turtle, but its shell is soft and leathery, and they glued barnacles to the shell to make this fake video. That is so twisted. Not only that, but they're putting them in the ocean. They're literally letting them swim around in salt water. That's not good for them. This is a freshwater species. They're burning its freaking eyeballs. Not to mention the skin problems that they can have from this. Look, it's leaving lesions. You're literally ripping the freaking skin off the shell of the turtle here because they glued the barnacles to this fly river turtle. Are you actually kidding me? And on the hard-shelled animals, at least, you know, it's really uncomfortable, but usually they don't rip anything off. On this fly river turtle, they are quite literally, oh, he's pulling, and then see how upset the turtle gets? It's because you...
And luckily, as far as I can tell, YouTube did a good job of nuking all those off the platform, as far as I can tell. The last time I checked, like a month or two ago, I didn't see any on. Maybe they popped up again. I don't know. I really don't want to check it at the moment. Hopefully they don't make a comeback. But at the same time, so yeah, the feedings, the natural... I hate the... I'm sorry that this is more of a rambling video. I hate the excuse of it's natural. It may be natural in some instances, but it's cruel to make animals fight. It's cruel to feed them things that they wouldn't really eat in the wild, or just to... You're not doing it for education. You're doing it for views, for people who think it's cool to watch a cool turtle or crocodile rip apart this very delicate little critter. So yeah, it might happen in the wild. I don't blame the animals in the wild, but I do blame these lazy, pathetic pricks of humans that are using it to get views and therefore possibly ad revenue, which is, I mean, that would be the only reason you would do it, would be for ad revenue. So yeah, and it completely defeats the guidelines of YouTube, and I'm spacing on the guidelines for animal abuse. I would highly recommend to check out Suki's video. He had a magnificent video showing off like the guidelines, some of the videos that were kind of prevalent more, I think, a year or two ago, breaking that down. And I think a lot of that applies to these channels I'm about to talk to. I already discussed Eternal Planet, already showed the clips and everything from that horrible stuff. But yeah, basically that's the end of that whole rambling. I hate the natural, that whole thing. I hate it, sorry. I gotta move on, I'm rambling. But to get on to this next channel, it's known as, let me find these specific. This one didn't have as many. It was very, like, one or two, and I can't quite remember if the channel is even still up. Or at least they haven't posted in a long time. And it was Nauka. No, they did have another video, which I'll try and add, like, a snippet in here. And it was a very terrible video. Let me try and find, sorry, I gotta deal with this tablet, and it's pretty slow, so I may not be able to pull it up. But I do remember. Okay, so there is one. There's still tons of videos on this channel. I only grabbed one, I believe, because there were so many. You have when Pac-Man Frog, Bullfrog, Crazy Frog saw, and it's spelled S-A-W, giant tarantula. And it's a Pac-Man frog with a Goliath bird eater. I'll have to save that one now and add that to this list. And oh my gosh, there's so many. Like, how many videos are on this channel? 333 videos. Not all of them are like this, but some of them, it's like bullfrog eating surprise orange, which is like, I think roaches. But then you have black titan bug. I think it's a type of beetle versus an emperor scorpion. And then you have this, the most recent one I do remember seeing was this one, which I'll add next, and it's called Black Snake, Scorpion, Crab, Lizards, Beetle, Centipede, Pac-Man Frog. And I do remember watching this one, and it has like I think that's a broadhead or a coal skink. I think it's a cold skink. coal, and yeah, wow, the lighting just went out because it's dark outside now. But yeah, the Pac-Man frog ends up eating the coal skink and the snake, which I believe is I think it's a sunbeam snake. I could be wrong, but I can just click on it. The original video I was clicking on was called Horned Frog, Black Snake, Giant Centipede, Lizard, Scorpion, Gecko, and I think that's just a house or maybe a white tokay. There's a coal skink, it looks like, an Emperor Scorpion, 2, I believe, Vietnamese Giant Centipedes, an albino Pac-Man frog, and a Budget's frog, all tossed into one tiny little tank. 19,000 likes, 56,000 views. This one was posted a year ago. Then you have this one. This is the Black Snake one. 1,100 views, 56,000. Oh, sorry, that's subscribers, my bad. So, 109,000 views. The other one has 40, the other one I had has 2.2 million views. So, I think I've shown some clips of this channel, going back to photos, but that's Nauka. That's that channel. Let's go back and see what the channel description is. It has like rock and roll music in the background. Nauka. More about this channel, and there's no info on it. So that's the second channel. In its own way, it's still egregious. A lot of the times the animals kind of leave each other alone because they're all terrified and scared of being thrown in this little box to fight. But this was really kind of the most tame of the other one I saw. So the next one I'm covering is called Bug Frog. So let's go and check this one out. So this one was pretty egregious. Bug Frog, where'd it go? Bug Frog. I think it only had, maybe this one was the lower one. Okay, so Bug Frog, it only had one video that I saved, but I'll check out the channel in a second. It says, give the frog queen, give the frog the queen of the giant hornet. And it's Pac-Man frog, actually several Pac-Man frogs. It's not a pixie frog. Being forced to eat a Japanese giant hornet. I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese giant hornet because of the orange color and the size of it. Do I need to say more? It's a Japanese giant hornet. You know how painful that is? Just a regular hornet. You got a Japanese giant hornet. Let's see. Sorry, my tablet's going slow. I'm going to try and edit as best as I can. So, find Bug Frog. No, not you. That was uploaded 10 months ago. And it has 3,124,000 views. 3,124,680 views. And the channel has 208,000 subscribers. And from 9 months ago, that looks like it's a weird looking little frog swallowing jewels. Looks like some kind of weird, like insect. Looks a very rainbow insect. Hard to tell, or hard to describe it. Grasshoppers, crayfish, Japanese giant hornets, several Japanese giant hornets. Dragonfly nymph, Vietnamese centipede. How many videos are on this channel? 298 videos. So, here's this. Let's see, what else does it say? It says, and this is probably another foreign channel, it says Japan. So, join March 1st, 2021. Over 113 million views on the channel thus far. What do wild frogs eat and grow? I want to feed what they eat in the wild, and I want to observe what it is like. Would you like to share it with me? We look forward to it. Okay, that helps with me right there. That, to me, makes me think that this is the same person that owns the Turtle Planet channel. very same description, except Turtle Planet is said to take place in America, and this one takes place in Japan. So it makes me think that it's the same guy running the same channel or same channels. So it looks like we got a double bogey there. Sorry, I also wanted to check out, go back. I already covered Nauka, or whatever it's called. So yeah, it only had the one video, I say, because there's so many. There's so many. I wanted to check out the comment section. So let's go to Bug Frog. Let's see just this one alone. So this is the hornet feeding video. The frog just staring at the hornet is such a power move. 3,000 likes. I love how the frog just turned around and looked at the wasp while it was surprised. Some people may think that the frog's stomach acids are what ended the hornet, but the truth is that those nasty back kicks... Okay, so insinuating that a frog kicking a hornet can kill it. I've seen Japanese giant hornets before. Some were over 3 centimeters, and they can bite as well as sting. Most who die are due to anaphylactic shock, but the elderly and young children are vulnerable, especially to multiple stings. There are around 30 deaths attributed to them every year in Japan. These aren't your normal hornets. This comment was liked by the channel. So you just had someone comment how dangerous these critters are, and you're feeding them to your frogs. Oh, I love how the frog just kicked the hornet. Never seen a hornet look so scared and defeated. Almost feel sorry for it, even though it's so creepy looking. I don't know how the owner is brave enough to even handle one of those hornets. Ah ha ha. I often underestimate frogs just because they don't have teeth. Even their little kicks can knock out a wasp and their jaws can crush them. LOL. It's just amazing how powerful they are for other animals of their size. We need more soldiers like him. Just a bunch of idiots. Just a bunch of idiots. So... let's go to Nauka, this video that I had a minute ago. Let's see. So let's read the comment section for this one. Men kept on adding new contestants every few minutes while like a WWE Royal Rumble. Dear God, give me the patience of the horned frog, perseverance of the reptile, aggression of the lizard, hard work of the centipede, smartness of the snake. 601 likes. How the frog is just chilling. Kind of like how the frog just accepts them climbing on him. Lamau. Snake escaped. Cameraman, it's okay. Just a comment section full of people just fully enjoying, just fully like, oh, this is cool. Memeable. The gecko is very aggressive, keeps attacking. It's completely natural. People just remember that. It's completely natural. Okay, I'm done with this. Let's go to... I can't use the comment sections from Turtle Planet. I forgot about that because, of course, they're gone. So, hat's going back on. It's getting dark. And we have one more channel to cover. That is Feed Pet Hub. So, this one was, to me, the most egregious. Let me go to my main page. And I will have clips going up as I go through. So the first one we have is Snapping Turtle Eat Live Turtle. Warning, live feeding. This one shows a common snapping turtle being fed baby softshell turtles. I have a baby Florida softshell turtle. Or Jumba. Had him since 2019. It defeats me to no great end. Because they didn't just die in one go. You know, they have very thick leathery shells. It took a while for these baby turtles to die. I don't blame the snapping turtle. He's hungry. He's doing what... And if he ate one in the wild, I wouldn't blame it. This is just some prick being cruel. Feeding baby turtles to a snapping turtle. And they're not like big snapping turtles either. They're like medium size, like my size snapping turtles eating baby soft shells like this. snapping turtle eats axolotl live feeding. So it's just a snapping turtle, and you'll see the common theme of snapping turtles, mainly common snapping turtles, ripping other critters apart. And I don't blame the snapping turtles in one bit. Like I said, I don't blame them. I blame the humans. And it's just this poor melanoid axolotl getting slowly ripped apart by the turtle. Got the clips rolling. We have snapping turtle eats live sturgeon fish, enemy of life, live feeding. And it's very sad. I don't know. Most of these must be live caught. I believe this channel has to be in America, because I don't think you can get a hold of any of these animals like in Japan. You could, but it would be easier to get a hold of them over here. Most of these animals, especially the sturgeon, could have possibly been caught. I don't know, because sturgeons are expensive. So it is possible that they caught this little sturgeon and fed it, because I think a lot of these animals are caught, or a number of the animals are also like within like $50 limits, what they would go for in the pet trade. And it's just this poor sturgeon getting slowly bitten in half, ripped apart by this snapping turtle. And we have another one here. Snapping turtle eats live softshell turtle, and it's the same kind of video as the other one, just snapping turtle or turtles. I know one of these has 2 snapping turtles eating these poor baby softshell turtles, just getting just ripped apart. It's insane. And the worst part about these are that they're much longer than the other channels. They're like 13 to 10 minutes long each. Some of these, just crazy. See, feedback hub. So we have this one. Giant snapping turtle eats live crocodile. Warning, live feeding. 290,000 views. Let's look at the other ones real quick. The original, so one of the snapping turtle softshell videos has 30,000. The other one has 14,000. Sturgeon one has 5,000. Axolotl has 3,000. Going back to the crocodile one, 290,000 views. And I'm going to look at these in the actual channel in just a moment. And it's just this poor, I can't tell what kind it is. It's probably like a Moralettes crocodile or something very kind of cheap that they got a hold of. Because they're probably making all their money back in like ad revenue if they're getting monetized. I can't tell because I'm on premium. So, yeah, I don't know how this gets past YouTube. It's obviously abuse. And it's just this poor little crocodile getting ripped apart by a snapping turtle again. This next one really disturbed me. Because just like the cane turtle, the cane toad and the other channel, pufferfish turning into balloon bitten by a snapping turtle, warning live feeding. Warring live feeding. 7,000 views. And this is obviously a very poisonous, toxic freshwater Fuju pufferfish. And this turtle is ripping it apart, sadly. And I love pufferfish. They're so cool. So it's sad to see one just being ripped apart like this. It probably costs about like $50 to get at a pet store. But they're very toxic. And if this turtle, which I think it did, I haven't watched the video again, ate just some parts of this pufferfish, this turtle probably died. And then we have the last set of videos, which I'm going to talk about here. Hey guys, so I am back for this little snippet here. I had to completely fix this part because I got the salamander species wrong. For the longest time, I thought these... Okay, so addressing the worst video in this... The worst set of videos, I believe, in this whole video is this Feed Pet Hub video discussing these salamanders. These salamander feeding videos, they're absolutely terrible. But the part I got wrong when editing this the first time, had this for almost a week, I really thought they were hellbenders because I couldn't imagine how they would get a hold of Chinese giant salamanders. But through research, which let me discuss this first before getting into the videos themselves, turns out that salamander breeding really is very popular in China. for the commercial market, and it is not incredibly impossible for them to get juveniles like these, but it was hard for me to identify because when you look up juvenile or baby Chinese salamander, nothing really pops up, and it took me so long to find reference photos for what like subadults look like, because I saw a few of like larvae and then a few, you know, of course the big ones. There's not really a ton of pictures like of the in between, and the same kind of goes for hellbenders. There's not a ton of, well, there is, but it was hard for me to find the Chinese more. So for my references, they look more like hellbenders. But after a lot more research, I was able to finally find a reference photo, which I'll show right here, that these salamanders in the videos are Chinese giant salamanders that were probably bred for commercial market. They eat these things in China. I mean, I don't like it. They're endangered, but these are farm-raised ones. And I don't really mind if they're farm-raised, because, I mean, as long as they're a healthy population for them to farm, I would rather them not take any out of the wild, especially, but at least if they're in captivity, being eaten or whatever, I don't like it, but, I mean, I don't know. But what I don't like is what these people did in these videos. Now, it's hard to tell because Feedpet Hub, and I discussed further in the video some of the other channels that are attached to Feedpet Hub, but it seems like a sort of conglomerate that has like several videos from several different channels that may have been taken down or whatever, and it's kind of really hard to find references to where these videos came from if they filmed them themselves, because Feedpet Hub is stationed in the United States is what it says. But I believe Crazy Frog takes place in Japan, and Feedpet Hub is Australia. Crazy Frog, I believe, is North America, United States, and the Stray Dog channel is in Japan, I think. I could be wrong, but I addressed it further in the video. But I wanted to talk about this here. So yeah, in these videos, as you can see, these poor baby salamanders are just getting ripped apart by these. So one video in particular is a two-parter, and it has the common snapping turtle eating a juvenile, and you can tell they're real young, just out of their like larva stage, because both of them actually have their gills still. So these were very young, probably straight out of the farm or whatever. Maybe they got them from the farm or snuck them out or something, I don't know. But that's also the most logical explanation, because it would have been incredibly hard to get a hold of two juvenile hellbenders. And that's kind of the point I ran hard with in my original, part of this video. But after, I just didn't feel confident, and after literally just hours more research, I was finally able to find more references to positively identify these juveniles as Chinese giant salamanders and not hellbenders, which in a way is better, because I would rather not hellbenders, which don't really have any captive breeding being done. So these animals were at least farmed, but it's terrible how their lives ended. Just horrifically, just mangled and ripped apart by turtles. And that's what this person did for views. They decided that it'd be fun to just do this. So going back over this, I'm going to go back to library. So we're going to talk about this part here. I was reading a bunch of comments, and there was like, the typical, oh, it's natural. Oh, yeah, they do it in the wild. Oh, and I was also talking about the other channels as well, and they were all brain dead comments. I don't want to go over them again. I'm sorry. I know I was supposed to add comments in here. I just don't want to go over it again. But I think the worst one was the people talking about the snapping turtle eating the baby crocodile, and people just talking about, oh, look how it's still moving, and it's already been ripped apart in half, and it's terrible. So going back to the animal abuse part, so going over Feedpet Hub, I think I already showed the channel front. It's right here. Well, yeah, it's right here, and the description as well. So Feedpet Hub, if it'll log on. So yeah, over 4,000 subscribers, 101 videos. Hi, in this channel video, recording live feeding habits of my turtles. Turtle ingest food is a harsh reality. This is only us documenting live feeding habits of turtle. And this one is in Australia, joined March 2nd, 2021, 1,800,075 views. Going through the other ones though, let's see, 29,000, Japan. All these channels joined, these 3 particular channels that have like the same channel banner, joined very recently, within 2020, 2021, and 2022. So yeah, and I discuss the other 2 channels later on. Sorry, I kind of had to do a little double back here. So yeah, it took me a lot of time to find the references for the salamanders, and I'll show like different references that I could find. So these aren't baby hellbenders like I really hammered on before. They are Chinese giant salamander juveniles. But yeah, I discuss a lot of this later on in the video. And they are farmed because in China's penalty for illegally hunting these creatures is very low, and it only comes to about 50 yen. About $6 US. For poaching and a Chinese giant salamander is only $6 penalty. That's insane to me. Which is less than 100 times the black market price. Establishments such as restaurants can charge up to $250 to $400 per kilogram. Now, this is not me hammering on the food market or whatever. If you humanely euthanize it, if it's a healthy farm-raised market and you decide you, for some reason, want to eat a big salamander, you do you. That part, I don't want... the wild populations are the ones I care about, as well as being treated humanely. What these people in this video did, just, it's horrible. And it only gets worse because I found another channel. Oh, this was another thing that I discovered, another channel, and I'll add this in here as well. To this part. So someone commented on one of the videos called Deranged Reptile and Amphibian Feedings, and the comment is, I just told somebody I fed my pet goldfish to the turtles. Dope video. Feed Pet Hub responded, hi, has your channel joined YPP, so the YouTube Partnership Program? So these videos are monetized. Are they not? Because this is Feed Pet Hub saying, hey, have you joined yet? That's insane to me. This is a person, I have premium, so I can't tell. So it obviously comes across as, oh, we're making money off these videos of animals fighting each other. And you read the description of Deranged Feedings, and this is the description of it. This channel is about one thing and one thing only: video documenting live feeding habits of our pets. If you like watching snakes, turtles, frogs, geckos, and bearded dragons eating live prey, then you are definitely in the right place. This channel is the harsh reality of how brutal animals eating can be. Again, this is only us documenting live feeding habits of reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates. Movement is what sparks a lot of predatory animals' feeding responses, in particular reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates. We hope you enjoy. Supposed to be in the United States, joined in 2021, and 5 million views. And there's a ton of videos on the channel, but I can't really speak to it because the feedings are mainly like goldfish and primarily mice, which a lot of channels do. And I don't take issue with live feedings in certain circumstances, like I've said. But the problem is, there's just so much live feeding. It's like, this is a person that's very set in their ways that they want to live feed, and damn the consequences. It's just really sad that when people enjoy making that content, it's horrible to me. I don't take offense with you having to do it when you have to, but this is just horrible. And then I also found another channel called Minky Croakle. I don't have the, let me find it real quick, actually. Okay, and so this was actually a video that really helped me with the reference. It just so happens to be a very terrible, terrible video. So Minky Croakle actually has 2 other videos of feeding Chinese giant salamander juveniles to snapping turtles. So there's 2 of them on this channel. One of them went viral, and it's absolutely horrifying. 1,000 subscribers, 99 videos, and the only description says, join 2021. All these channels are very recent. Hello everyone, I'm Minky Crockle. I won't move in the wind and rain if it's not the best. I won't do it. Today I officially enter the YouTube platform. This is the only official account. Others are pirated. You can follow me if you like. 500,000 views, just about. And the problem is with this, I think they're pretty much lying, because a lot of these videos seem to be coming from other channels, but it's mainly snapping turtles eating stuff. And there is, let's see, there was 2 videos. So let me just make sure. Yeah, it's like a huge conglomerate of just many different channels. There's even alligator snapping turtles in here, which definitely tells me this had to have taken place on previous channels that probably got taken down or whatever. There's an axolotl getting fed to a snapping turtle. So yeah, there's 1. So as far as I can tell, because I don't want to look any further, there's 1, and so yeah, basically, as the last part of the Feedpet Hub video, I've covered all this. I've got all the reference photos. So these are Chinese giant salamanders. It just does not take away from the fact that, also Mindy Crockle, or whatever your Crocker, whatever your name is. There's at least 4 different circumstances where Chinese giant salamanders are ripped apart by turtles on YouTube. So everything's on the list. I'm going to continue on with the past me, continuing on with the video. I pretty much have everything. And I also want to go into this for a second, because because both Minky Crockle and Feedpet Hub both say that they are farm salamanders. So it also kind of leads to the credence that these are farm-bred Chinese giant salamanders for traditional Chinese medicine, feeding, or restaurants or whatever. So that basically goes into it. And that's what this person says here. Aren't giant salamanders endangered? Minky Crockle responds, this is an artificially bred giant salamander. Wild salamanders are on the verge of extinction. The release of artificially raised salamanders to nature may lead to genetic pollution and ecological imbalance. And Vibe Checker responds, all right, glad to hear that. Well, it's good that you've raised these farm raised so that the wild populations are decimated. And good for you that you just let them get ripped apart by turtles. As far as I can tell, that's it, guys. I'm not going back and reading all the comments again, so read the comment sections if you do dare. I just want these things taken down as best I can. And continuing on. Let's check out the sturgeon one. 2 comments. And it's nothing. So, that's all the channels. I've covered everything. Covered their comment sections. Covered their channels. Everything. So, still editing. Nearly done. Doing some last minute research. Mainly today. You know, trying to get all my thoughts out during work and whatnot. So, during lunch, I was also scrolling through, doing a little bit more research. Found more channels. I'm going to try and add them all into the list, get them all collected so that everyone help report them so we can get these channels taken down. Because like Turtle Planet, those videos aren't deleted, they're just hidden. There's also Feedpet Hub apparently has 2 other channels called Mr. Crazy Frog and Stray Dog Channel. They all have the same channel banner, all 3 channels, and then there's some other ones that were connected. So a lot of these channels, they own multiple channels, and that's kind of just how it goes. Sometimes it looks like they pick off content from channels that got deleted and add it to their own roster. But Feedpet Hub was really just the most egregious one I could find, which I'm talking about here. But I just want to put the little update in that I found more, and I have like more pictures coming along the screen of some other videos and stuff, or the channels that I found. Had a really depressing video that I looked at real quick. It'll show you right here the thumbnail. I don't want to show any more videos right now. It was an African bullfrog eating baby soft-shell turtles, so that was very depressing. But yeah, just try and report as many of these as y'all can, guys, that I add to the list, and because I don't want to keep looking at more videos. So back to the regular video. This has been an hour. This has been 55 minutes of hell for me. So yeah, that's basically it. I just really wanted to cover all of these channels and break them down to you, showing you how terrible they are. The Hellbender videos specifically, I reported them to United States Fish and Wildlife. I may give them a call to see, because I only emailed them the first time. I'm going to maybe give them a call, because that's just horrible to me that those two Hellbenders just died in such a horrible way. It just frustrates me so bad that so many people just enjoy it for the fact that reptiles, it's okay for reptiles and all these other animals to fight. But when a dog or a cat, you know, the same is done to them, everyone gets upset. But now I did want to address one more thing, and it's some people may know and ask me, well, am I being a hypocrite? Because I have a video on my channel, and I have it right here. Granted, most of that comment section is cancer, back when I would try to defend everything. And I don't defend that video now. I do have it still posted on my channel for with an actual educational purpose. Like, hey, don't do this. And it was not me in the video. I was about 13 years old. We had a local pet shop at the time, and they were moving, and they had a Savannah monitor and an Argentina black and white tegu and a sulcata tortoise. While they were moving, the Savannah monitor was put in with the tegu, and they fed them live rats, which I can't stand anymore. And in the video you see they don't fight. What happens is the monitor like bites the jowl of the tegu, trying to pull it away, trying to get the rat that's in it. And then as soon as another rat is dropped in, the monitor goes after that one. Now I still think it's incredibly cruel for the rats, looking back at it. And the original title of the video was like Argentina black and white tegu versus Savannah monitor, which was just dumb on my part. Now and I might go back and rename it, like give a warning on it and explain again, like kind of revamp that video explaining why I still have it up. It's like, okay, it's really the only video of it that exists. That's the reason why I have it up. It's not to enjoy. And even then they don't fight. It's not like a brutal Lost World 1960s style, like they're fighting each other like that. They kind of just nip at each other trying to get to the rats. The rats get more than the lizards got. But nonetheless, I still look back and think, man, that was not a smart thing for that pet shop to do. Granted, later on they moved and the lizards were separated again. But I still wanted to address that because you might see that on the channel. Let me look it up, actually. Okay, so here it is. And has 2,700 views. That was posted 7 years ago. I sound like an incredible squeaker here. 27 likes. I think hundreds of dislikes, which is, I don't blame the people. It wasn't a smart thing. You can see obviously the lizards they just want to be fed these live mice, and I can't stand seeing how the mice are treated. And then right here, they kind of fight over it for a second, and then the monitor, I think, yeah, he bites like the cheek, the jowl, the tegu, and kind of tugs at him, trying to, and then he lets go instantly. So it wasn't like an outright brawl. I still don't care for it, but yeah, black and white Savannah monitor and black and white tegus feeding warning graphic. And I do have a thing here. I updated this a few years ago, uploaded in 2015. Okay, before y'all hate this vid, it was recorded 6 years ago at the time of this upload at a pet shop. I can't help how they enclosed the animals, and I don't like how they did it. I just posted a while ago and didn't think about it in a way. I don't go to that pet shop anymore, and I heard they moved the monitor into another enclosure for the update they've closed. So yeah, I do need to update it a little bit because there was a lot of concerned comments. Okay, this was 2 years ago. I updated this 2 years ago. And this is what I said in the main comment. It says, not I'm surprised. I got more hate in this video that barely... throat's going. I got more hate on this video than really any of those other channels that actually show like animals fighting and abuse. Like, it's still not cool to me, but that's just incredible. And this is what I said. Okay, as of 2020, guys, this video is 8 years old, and I was like 14 at the time, and yes, I thought this was cool, but I don't anymore, as anyone with a decent amount of respect for these animals know this is bad, but at the time, they were moving to a new location and moved the monitor to this cage while they moved, and they did about a week later, and they were separated again, and as of, I think, 2015, they closed down completely, and at the time, it reminded me of the old Lost World film where the two dino lizards fight. And on a side note, I won't be deleting this video. I'm going to leave it up because, frankly, it shows a bad scenario that no one should attempt. Thanks for understanding, or just type an angry comment anyway. I don't know. I don't care because I don't condone this at all. Also, I wish I could choke my squeaky voice out. Jeez. So, yeah, I kind of wanted to touch upon that. Let's see. Do I have anything else? We've covered everything. I sincerely recommend that you check out Suki's video. Great video talking about the animal abuse problems on YouTube. Covered all the channels, the comment sections, and the bios. I've talked about the stupid natural explanation and whatnot. Talked about the Hellbender especially. The biggest thing, the greatest thing you guys can do is report these channels. I have the names in the comment section. I'm going to try and get everything together so you can help report these channels. Turtle Planet, who I think also owns, Bug Frog. So if you can report especially those two channels, that person, who I believe is in Japan, can hopefully get taken down. I want all these channels taken down. Turtle Planet especially also, because those videos aren't deleted. They're hidden. They might pawn them off to another channel or try and post them again when like when everything blows over. I don't want to blow over. I want these channels gone as quick as we can get them off, because it's wrong that these animals are being abused and forced to fight for entertainment of these absolute losers on the internet. These morons who think it's natural because they're scaly reptiles and it's cool to watch them rip things apart. I have many animals. I have my snapping turtles. I've already talked about it before. They eat. I don't feed any of my animals live except for the one python because he refuses. It's cruel.
So, almost got this done editing. One last thing, as I was almost about to upload the video, I discovered this last channel that was recommended to me through shorts. And it's another douchebag, but this time he likes to feed baby iguanas to his monitors. And normally I wouldn't care if they're like dead or whatever, because they are invasives or whatnot. Been in Florida for 50 years or whatever, but still pretty cruel just watching the baby iguanas get ripped apart by monitors, and it's just for fun and views to this guy. And he's not very smart when it comes to the upkeep of these animals, so he's been added to the list, and he's in the playlist, so have fun.
It may be natural in some cases, but if you don't have to do it, I don't see why you would want to. There's no reason for it. But anyway, guys, I think I've covered everything just about as best as I can. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry that I meant for it to be like less than 40 minutes. I've rambled on for almost an hour, trying to cover every basis of these channels that I can. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. And check out some of the previous reactions and the Holy Thursday Massacre video and all that stuff. And stay tuned for more. Got a lot planned, especially the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer and Five Nights at Freddy's. Can't wait to check those out with the girls. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and let's hit the 10,000 subscriber mark, and wish me luck that I will maybe get remonetized again, because this video ain't getting monetized, which I don't care. I just want to spread the word and get these douchebags taken down. So let's do it. 10,000 subscribers.